Thank you for joining us at the Clive Barker Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your audio so you never miss a release. In episode 339, Jose and Ryan review the results of our Duels of Blood Round 1 competition, and we have a quick message to a couple Kickstarter backers. Well, welcome. This is episode 339 of the Clive Barker Podcast. This one is mainly just a quick update as we are the volume 5 of the Duels of Blood rounds out. And so the round is up and we have the results and who's going to be going on to the next round.
Yeah, so as usual, I'm Joe.
I'm Ryan.
And this voting round for the first round started on February 27, and it ended when, tonight?
Yeah, it ended this morning at
this morning.
Midnight, yeah.
Yeah. There were some interesting surprises here.
Yeah, so we had the first one was Pio Pa versus Onaka. And in a surprising turn of events, Pio Pa just shut him out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy about that. Sorry, Simon. But Pio Pa is one of my favorite characters. So He's a strong character in Magica. I could see how he would win. And
in the past, movie characters have had a strong advantage over literary characters who don't have an actor, to identify with. So
true, yeah.
In this case, though, Pio Pa won.
Magic is a big book. Did you watch that video that came out recently from this channel on YouTube that did a deep dive into like Clive Barker's Magica?
I saw that it was there, and I've been meaning to go back and watch it, but I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, I think I'll share that on the podcast page tonight. I listened to it this morning at breakfast. It was pretty good. We have another character from Magica in the next match, popularity match. It was two strong characters, right? I mean, I would say Babette was a stronger character here because people love Babette so much, even though she hardly has any lines. Except for on the next wind.
Yeah. Babette versus Quasar.
Yeah, Babette from Nightbreed.
Yeah, versus Quasar from Magica. This one is tough. We actually had a tie. And we've done this for 4 other years, and we've never had a tie before. So we could roll a die, maybe? I don't know. What do we do?
I can try to break a tie. I mean, I can try voting for my favorite in this one, and you can try voting for your favorite. My vote would go for Babette.
Yeah, actually mine too.
Okay, I guess Babette is the winner. We broke the tie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Quasar. You were just a copy of Judith, but from a Magica, but that's all good. Babette wins.
Yay.
Because I honestly didn't vote for this round, so.
Oh, okay. I did once. Also, when we talked about setting them so you can vote every 5 minutes, I did that, but I think I did it too late. I changed those settings after all of the little voting things were already made.
Okay.
So I don't know how long they are set for now, but I think it's a lot longer than 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So we should probably make it so people can vote more often.
Yeah. So the next time it'll be set for that because it already is.
For the third match, we have 2 strong villains, one against each other, right?
Yeah. This would be a tough fight, actually. Christopher Carrion versus a Nullianak.
When I say Nullianak, all I can think about is the Nullianak that shows up at the end of Magica, like the guy who represents all of the Nullianaks, merged into one. That would have been like almost like a demigod of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Christopher Carrion, he's not yet tapped into his full potential. He's still like a teenage boy. In his family, but looks like he took the round because Christopher Carrion is from Aberrat, and Aberrat is awesome.
Christopher Carrion is a little more morally ambiguous, and Nullianaks are just pure instruments of war.
Yeah, Pexamendios' wrath.
Yeah. Next up, we have Harry D'Amour versus the Puzzle Guardian from Hellraiser, the dragon form.
Oh God, this is a tie.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 0-0 tie. Nobody voted for these characters. What the heck?
Well, I already know who my vote is for. What do you think?
This is tough. I want to vote for the one I like, but also the most obvious one. They're not the same. If I vote the one I like, It's probably going to keep it tied.
One of them is cool, but the other one is like a rounded out, actual, like fleshed out character.
Right, right. I would vote for the Puzzle Guardian, and you would vote for Damore, right?
For Damore, yeah. So
let's roll a dice.
So we'll say low is Harry and high is Puzzle Guardian. Okay, I got an 11.
All right.
So that's Puzzle Guardian, right? That's because it's a 20-sided die.
Okay, so that's high. Yeah. Wow.
So Puzzle Guardian 1.
And now he's going to like screech and laugh and fly away.
Yeah, he has no eyes. He's got horns coming out of his eye sockets.
You know what? I never noticed that. Now that you mention it, it's true.
It's weird.
That's weird, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
I thought his eye would be where his nose is supposed to be.
Oh, yeah,
so
right.
That's amazing. I never realized that the horns were stuck into his eye orbits.
Even like a dragon is a Cenobite.
Yeah, true.
And next we've got a more obscure character, Yama Vidatu. She's part of the Vas Iniquitadas, the group of Cenobites that were sent. Their mission was to kill the Nightbreed.
Yep, from Jihad comic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got Yama Vidatu versus Mr. Hood from The Thief of Always.
I'm not surprised at the outcome here. Mr. Hood clearly took the round.
Yeah.
The villain from the Thief of Always book, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah. The Thief of Always is magical. I mean, that's just an amazing book.
Mr. Hood is kind of like an understudy of Apexamendios when he builds his body up from the city of God.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. I think I brought this up in an earlier episode. Mr. Hood takes the round and he's laughing with his face made out of bits of wood and banisters and broken windows for eyes.
And then we have Kinski versus the Wire Twins. Kinski from Nightbreed, the lawgiver, right? From
Nicholas
Nightbreed.
Vince. Yeah. Nicholas
Versus the
Vince.
Wire Twins. We have kind of a funky screenshot of the Wire Twins standing in front of a green screen.
Just laughing it up.
Yeah. I wonder how much stuff like that has an effect on the votes. They don't look as impressive when they're not in a natural like environment.
Well, you know my opinion about Inferno.
Yeah, that's true. They were
I
the
wonder,
best part of Inferno, though. I mean, and Craig Sheffer was pretty good too.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Torso was just weird. Torso was just a weird little pet thing that I don't know. I didn't like the way they made them like so white and dusted down.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess of course inevitably Kinski passes the round.
Yay, Kinski.
Mac tonight.
And then we have Butterball from Hellraiser and Hellbound versus Angelique. And this one was a close match, but Angelique took the round.
Yeah, two great makeup designs, two great Cenobites.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the most popular Cenobite? Because Butterball has been in a lot more movies than, well, not a lot more movies. I mean, it's been in like 2 movies.
Yeah. Well,
and Angelique's been in 1.
So Butterball is more classic, but Angelique has a complex character with speaking parts. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 different forms, right? I mean, she's got her human-looking form and her Cenobite form.
Yeah, based off of Sister Act, according to Gary Tunnicliffe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had seen Sister Act, and he was like, "I'll make a nun Cenobite."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why she has those like chains attached to her scalp. It's supposed to be like a nun.
A habit.
Yeah, a headdress. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Angelique won. Good. I love Bloodline. So sorry, Simon. This one was taken by Valentina Vargas.
Yeah. And next round we have Jimothy Terry from Aberrat versus a very, very obscure character from Nightbreed, Mezek Mool. Stop motion animated little creature that Diadara, I think, rides on. Yeah.
The leopard lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is obscure to the max because it wasn't even in the movie.
Yeah, well, not until the director's cut and the Cabal cut.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. I mean, Clive Barker's art for Aberrat, he created a very striking figure with Jimothy Terry. He's the leader of the Terry Cats in the Aberrat world, and he's a pretty charismatic character. And he's a kitty cat, so of course.
On the Clive Barker book club, somebody had put the question like, "What's your favorite animal from Clive Barker stories?" And people kept saying Jimothy Terry, and I'm like, does he really count as an animal?
Or,
I mean,
he's a Terry cat.
He wears pants and he stands up on 2 feet and he talks and he's on the council of Aberrat. I mean, does that make him an animal?
He's a Terry cat, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of species.
He's like an evolved Terry cat.
So I think he's a person. He's not a human, but I think he's a person.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to go on a tangent here, but in Skyrim, there's this race called the Khajiit. And the Khajiit can have different shapes according to what a phase of the moon they're born under. Oh. So they can be like these humanoid cat-like characters, or they can be actual like small cats, like domestic cats, or they can look like lions as well. Yeah, or they can look like a mixture between a human and a cat, which is more humanoid, but with some weird markings on their faces. So it all depends on what phase of the moon they're born in. So I wonder, what's the difference between Jimothy Terry and the Terry cats? Right. It's like it's more evolved than they or something.
Even the more feral ones seem intelligent. I mean, they all respond to his commands, and they attack ferociously, in a coordinated way. Yeah,
they're cats, man. They don't give a hoot unless they have to, and they don't really engage unless they have to. They're just lazy cats.
And they have 9 lives, so some of them were burning through their 9 lives fighting against Casper Wolfswinkel.
Okay, now that's derivative, Clive. 9 live cats? I mean, come on. It's funny because in Portugal, I think we say the cats have 7 lives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's better than 1. Anyway.
Yep.
So, Jimothy won, obviously. And next we have Kirsty Pinhead versus Princess Breath. And I think this image of Kirsty Pinhead, has taken on a life beyond the comic books, right? I mean, I think not a lot of people are super familiar with the Boom series of Hellraiser comics, but a lot of people know this image of Kirsty Pinhead, and it gets cited a lot, especially with this debate about whether Pinhead could be played by a female in the Hulu series.
Yeah, I enjoyed the idea. Went back to the roots of what Clive and Tony Randall and Pete Atkins wanted to do, which is to bring back Julia as like a female Freddy Krueger of sorts, but for the Hellraiser universe. And I think it's great. I mean, I think it's great that they managed to do that in the comic book. Yeah. I'm not surprised that she won. I think we could have gotten a better image of Princess Breath, but I love Princess Breath. She would have totally gotten my vote.
Yeah.
And if you ever see this portrait in person, we had a fortune of seeing it in Clive Barker's studio, right, Ryan?
Yeah. And it's an amazing painting, and it's so thick.
Yeah, it's got such a topography to it, and it's just this creative like force. She's like, her hair is floating around her, and she's like breathing these little Aberrathian sea creatures out of her breath and dropping them into the Sea of Isabella. It's just beautiful. Kirsty Pinhead passes the round, but my heart is with Princess Breath.
We've got Nightbreed Kushner Day versus Imagica's Hapexamendios.
Oh, wow. That's very one-sided.
Yeah. And as it turns out, Hapexamendios won. So the unbeheld, the aboriginal.
The patriarchal god that put all the goddesses to sleep as he trumpled his way across the Imagica versus the drummer who his own race cannot look at each other without puking because they're so ugly. Right? Yeah. That's a little bio in the Nightbreed Chronicles.
Yep, I guess
he's all right.
He didn't have much of a chance.
Someone made a story with a drummer in Midian Unmade. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was cool to see someone, bring back that character.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Rachel versus Otis and Clay, so 2 Nightbreed characters. Otis and Clay did not stand much of a chance here. Rachel won by 100% of the votes. Otis and Clay actually is an interesting character because Kinski's character in the book was Jackie, right? And Jackie was like Otis and Clay.
Oh, yeah.
2 faces. And I think as they got through the movie, they kind of figured that it was hard to make a speaking character like this.
Right. So this one ended up being more of a background character. And then Clive made up this interesting backstory in the Nightbreed Chronicles that he was a 2 men trapped in the same body, and they wrote critics. They reviewed things. and they didn't like each other very much, right?
Yeah, they're like Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah. So, hey, maybe if Otis and Clay had taken his shirt off, but this one goes to Rachel.
Right. And speaking of that, we have a similar situation with Shuna Sassy versus Anastasia. Two female Nightbreed characters, and Shuna Sassy once again got 100% of the votes.
Yep, I totally expected that.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Yeah, and she got better screen time, and the way she sort of reveled in the fighting against the humans.
Yeah,
makes her a more compelling character. And Anastasia is really a background Nightbreed.
Some of these characters that ended up being more of a background character, I can't stop thinking if the Nightbreed movie had been done today, these would have been much more dynamic special effects makeups, Maybe we would have seen Anastasia, her story is she got a skin graft from some guy who was a Nightbreed and she didn't know. And then that skin graft just started growing a face on her face. And I would have loved to see this thing open an eye or something, or
she was
mumble.
An actress, right? So it messed up her life.
Yeah. She got a skin graft after she got into a fight over a girlfriend. Yeah, at a biker bar or something. I don't know. So I would have loved to see these characters have a little more, these makeups be a little more dynamic,
Yeah.
Have like a little face growing in the corner going like, Quaid, start the reactor.
Yeah, but it all depended on how much screen time they had, how much time was dedicated to their makeups, I'm assuming. So.
Did you know that the Batman movie is like almost 3 hours long? The new Batman movie?
No, people have talked about it already. I didn't even know it was out, but I saw Russell was reviewing it on Facebook already.
So I always wondered if Nightbreed had more time than 90 minutes, and even in the director's cut, which is like 101 minutes or something, it still feels like it's not enough. It feels like that movie could use another hour easy.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll never get that. There is that, bootleg cut of Nightbreed that's 3 hours long, but it doesn't really add that much to the story.
And it's not finished. It wasn't.
And it's
finished.
Yeah, and it doesn't really add a lot more. It just makes it longer.
Yeah.
But in terms of story and like character development, it doesn't really develop them that much more. Anyway, that's just my little rant.
I like the 2017 Cabal cut and the director's cut.
Me too. So next up, we have another Thief of Always character, which is Harvey Swick, the protagonist, versus Chocolat. Chocolat was a Nightbreed, right? She had she laid an egg. Or she laid a bunch of eggs, and babies came out of them.
Right, yeah. And there was a Nightbreed, a Boom Nightbreed comic dedicated to her.
Oh yeah.
I don't think a lot of people bought those. They didn't. That run didn't last very long.
I was looking at this special feature in the director's cut Blu-ray, and Bob Keane was very proud of Chocolat. He said that Chocolat looked like a work of art. And it's true, because you hardly see anything of her in the movie, but then there's a picture of her in the Nightbreed Chronicles, and it's such a detailed full body makeup, or at least, I don't know if it's full body, but it looks to be, at least it covers legs, arms, and face. So it's very, very detailed.
And of course Harvey Swick took that one. I mean, he's the main character for the Thief of Always, and everybody that reads the Thief of Always, I think, pretty much loves it. I haven't heard anyone complain about that book at all. Yeah.
So you got a main protagonist versus a side character. That's gonna be probably taken by the protagonist.
Yep. And a main bad guy versus sort of a background bad guy. We've got Dr. Philip Decker from Nightbreed versus the Engineer from Hellraiser.
I actually like the Engineer.
I do too.
Yeah, that's another character in Hellraiser that if I think they had today's special effects, we could have seen a lot more out of the Engineer than we got. Just like a bicycle-looking monster running down a hallway, but.
Oh, he was still terrifying and crazy looking. I mean, I loved him.
Yeah, I love the way that they made his eye, like the pupil dilates and contracts.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I need to ask Jeff how they do that.
And I like when he punches Steve in the face.
His tiny little T-Rex arms.
But Dr. Decker won, so, no surprise there.
Yeah. I'm a little burnt out on Decker, to be honest.
Yeah.
You see him everywhere these days. T-shirts, memes. I'm like, okay.
And when they make a toy for Nightbreed, it's Decker. It's so many things to choose from.
I know.
But next up, we have Laurie versus Gehenna. So Gehenna, again, another one of the Nightbreed comic characters. I mean, one of the Nightbreed versus Hellraiser comic characters. He's a Cenobite. He's a Cenobite. He
looks like a skeleton nailed to a board.
Yes.
So not exactly full to the brim with charisma. And no, so Laurie took that one.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, and it's great that Ann Bobby is writing the introduction to our interview book,
and she's working on working with us with a publisher on our behalf. Now.
That's wonderful. Ann is such a treasure. I love Ann Bobby.
Yeah, she's great,
and she won. She took this round.
Yeah, so Laurie will be moving forward.
So Gehenna, get angry. Gehenna, get mad.
Okay. we got the Chatterer versus Pinhead. And, and these are both original, Hellraiser characters from 1 and 2.
This is completely random, you say. You pair them completely randomly. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, and people love the Chatterer and people love Pinhead, but Pinhead is the more enduring of the Cenobites.
Sure, yeah. Yes, I'm sorry, Nick Vince, but Pinhead took this round as he does.
Yeah. Well, and Pinhead gets the lines.
Yeah, that's true. Pinhead, the Chatterer just chatters. Yeah. I don't think anybody ever said anything. He just kind of yells in Hellbound.
Oh yeah.
In the trailer for Hellbound.
Right, and in Hellraiser at the end when he's being teleported away.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Next up is the family that ages backwards. They have a bad case of Benjamin Button syndrome.
Yeah, the Fabilu family.
The Fabilu family. I remember seeing them when Laurie is walking through Midian and she looks into like the little cells, and I see the little kid is there, and the mother is kind of pulling. Well, the little kid is the father of the family, actually. So, yeah. So I wonder how that's like.
Do you remember on Mork and Mindy when they brought in a baby? Like they do in shows when they're not doing so well, they bring a baby in. But the baby was Jonathan Winters because he aged backwards.
Oh,
so he hatched out of this like 7-foot tall egg in their living room.
Oh my God. That sounds funny.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of Mork and Mindy, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So the Fabilu family was up against Ashbury. Yeah. And, Ashbury's a villain. Of course he's going to, take this round. He's charismatic. It's like the apocalypse. It's here.
Yeah.
And Ashbury won. The transformed Ashbury.
Yep. And this one is interesting. So now we've got Cabal versus the female Cenobite from Hellraiser 1. And we make that distinction, of course, because this is the Grace Kirby version of female Cenobite. Mm-hmm. But Cabal took it. So Aaron Boone or Cabal are moving forward.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm a Barbie Wild female Cenobite guy anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Grace.
Yeah, well, I mean, Grace might be nice. We've never met her.
But there's something to the Grace Kirby female Cenobite, of course, which is she's got that kind of gaunt-like figure, and she's got that, those deep-set eyes and stuff.
Yeah, and she's...
In a way, Barbie Wild is a little too pretty, isn't she?
The female Cenobite, and she's more yellow, right? I mean, it has that wispy white hair and stuff.
Yeah.
She looks more like a cadaver.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. And she also has a more interesting device on her throat, more complicated one.
Is it? Oh, I thought they were the same.
No, this one has the two hooks that come out of the cheek or going through the cheek.
Oh.
And then there's like those 3 others that are pulling the neck wound open.
Oh, okay.
And for Barbie, I think there's only one.
Did you? I mean, I always assumed it was supposed to be the same character. Do you think so also? Or a similar
okay.
character, but a different one?
Now that is the $1 million question, right? Because they look slightly different. And we, of course, know that this is because, you know, they update the makeups and stuff.
Yeah. And because Grace Kirby didn't want to do it again.
Within the continuation of the movie, I would say it's supposed to be the same one.
I think so too, because otherwise they would have made her look different.
Yeah, because we got the same Cenobites from the first one. So I think she was just recast, and they just meant her to be the same one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And then and of course Cabal won that one, and we've got Jacqueline S versus Malingo from Aberrat.
This one went against what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it would be Jacqueline S. That was almost a movie, but not quite. We got Malingo is a kind of a central character that people love from the Aberrat books. So Malingo took it.
He's kind of goofy. I like Malingo. He's very childlike, a little annoying sometimes.
Yeah. This next one, I don't know if I really cared who won.
Wow, they voted on this, but not on the Harry the Moore. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we got Pseudo Pinhead from Hellraiser Revelations. Anybody remember that one where it looks like he's got the American cheese on his face?
Jesus Christ, there were 2 votes for this guy.
Yeah, versus 2 characters that a lot of people may not know because they're from the original run of Hellraiser series, Bright Eyes and The Voice. They were from one issue of the original 90s Hellraiser comic.
Yeah. So they're kind of like 2/3 of the monkeys with See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Say No Evil.
Yeah.
Except one has the mouth is like sewn shut, and the other one doesn't have any eyes. So one is the voice, and the other one is the bright eyes because she can't speak.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised that this round got votes. To be honest.
Well, and Bright Eyes and the Voice won. They beat Pseudo Pinhead. I don't think not a lot of people care for Hellraiser Revelations or being reminded of it, by this character. So.
The 2 people who voted for Pseudo Pinhead, or the 1 person who voted twice for him, get in touch with me. I can get you help.
There we go. And here, this is interesting. The Madonna from the Books of Blood short story versus Mahogany, the Midnight Meat Train.
Ooh, a Books of Blood derby right here.
Yeah, and I didn't expect this. I thought Mahogany would win, right? He's got a movie.
Yeah. And it's played by Vinnie Jones.
The Madonna beat him. So, cool. I guess the Madonna moves on.
Yeah, the Madonna, which in some ways is almost like a other side of the spectrum in terms of the first American and the Madonna. They're both like these Cthulhu creatures, right? Like kind of shapeless, like giant creatures that change the world around them and create these like different people. Right.
So this would be the female version where the first American would be kind of more male, maybe.
Yeah. So, the Madonna took that one. A big, formless, shiny creature under a bunch of showers in an abandoned pool.
Yeah. Zarapushu from the art books, right? Versus Mendelssohn Shape from Aberrat.
Didn't I come up with a recipe for Zarapushu rice once?
I don't remember that.
I think so. Mendelssohn Shape is that villain from Aberrat who is missing a foot.
Yeah.
And what do you make of those things coming out of his back? Are those supposed to be like swords or wings? Swords,
yeah. He's got like built-in scabbards built in right into his back, like flesh scabbards. Yeah.
So he's like a fakir.
He always used to confuse me because there's the crisscross man, right? This guy has got crisscrosses on him, but he's not the crisscross man.
He's got crisscross swords. The other guy's got a checkerboard tattoo on his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
But Zarapushu won.
Well, Zarapushu got another vote from me, so he's got 5.
So Zarapushu moves on.
Yes, the little dream squid from the Quiddity.
And we've got Vasti Moses versus Chachat.
Ooh, they're both very corpulent demons, aren't they? I mean,
Vasti Moses is going to be way more recognizable. Chachat is from a more obscure short story with Harry D'Amour.
What is this screenshot that you put in here? Is this from the Boom Comics or something?
It is, yeah.
Ah, cool.
That's the only image of him that we've got, I think.
Yeah. That's a pretty striking figure. I always thought of him in the story Lost Souls as just this really fat-looking lady. But then I know that kind of melts away, and then Harry D'Amour sees his demonic form.
Right, yeah.
I just never really visualized it, So and that's cool.
He got shot, right? Or he got shot a bunch of times, but because he was a demon, he survived.
Yeah, he's like, not the face.
Yeah.
Because it was a shame for the demons to have scars on their faces, believe it or not. Vasti Moses is much more well-known, so he's in a lot of covers. He's in some covers for, like, Nightbreed, VHS stuff, and the cover of Nightbreed Chronicles. So he took this round. I think it was, a fair.
Yeah. Female Cenobite from Hellraiser 2. So this is the Barbie Wild version. Female Cenobite versus CD. This one was no contest at all.
Nope.
CD did not hold out.
We're going to vinyl. We're going back to vinyl. Sorry, right. CD. He didn't get any votes. Yeah. But Female Cenobite was one of the ones that had the most votes. In this whole thing. Wow. Because I think, definitely. She was one of the top voted characters. Go Barbie.
Yay. We've got Leviathan versus Tesla Bombeck. So Tesla from the Books of the Art, right? She won just barely, but she did it. She made it.
So in this case, Leviathan didn't really get a lot of votes.
He's one behind.
Yeah. So go Tesla.
Yay. Kissoon versus Devil Lude. This was surprising. Kissoon completely beat out Lude.
Yeah, I think there might have been someone here who's a big fan of the Great and Secret Show, because these Great and Secret Show characters got a lot of votes.
Yeah, I think that may be it. So Kissoon moves on, unfortunately.
He's going to make some licks.
He's a pretty despicable character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he murdered the Shoal.
Yeah.
He made the world a poorer place. Yeah. I didn't like it when he came back for Everville. I mean, I like to know the story behind him, but I didn't like that he survived the first book. But I guess he had to.
Yeah. And it's interesting because there, another magician who killed the remaining circle of magicians, Casper Wolfswinkel, is like a rated PG version of Kissoon.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
With more hats.
Right.
And less excrement. He gets so mad he kills off.
Right, yeah. We've got a Pinhead from Hellraiser Judgment, which is the Paul T. Taylor version of Pinhead, versus the city of Popolak from In the Hills, the Cities.
Yes. Paul T. Taylor won this one. Yeah. Popolak, I'm glad that Popolak didn't get 0 votes on this one, because that's really one of the stories from the Books of Blood that when I was done with that, I actually put down the book and I just had to take a moment and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the last stories in one of the volumes too. So that made it hit even harder,
Yeah. Narcisse from Nightbreed versus Slaughter, the Berserker, from Nightbreed. So, of course, Narcisse won. Everybody loves Narcisse.
Yeah. He's our little chaotic good character.
Yeah, right. I love a coward.
Hugh Ross is going to be happy about this.
Yeah.
It's one of his most charismatic characters, over the top characters, I would say.
Yeah.
We got Skinless Julia for the next one versus the Sculptress.
Right.
2 very similar characters, right?
Yeah. And Of course, Skinless Julia, everyone knows from Hellbound, and a lot of people, Hellbound is their favorite Hellraiser movie. So it makes sense that she would win and move on to the next round. And the Sculptress was close, but didn't quite make it.
Yeah, the Sculptress was a character from a comic book story from the Epic Comics called With Her Lips, or with My Lips, or whatever it was called. I think it was a John Rossum story. Yeah. And it's a pretty good one. It's very short, but it's really good. I do recommend it. But Julia makes it to the next round. Yeah. We're getting a lot of Hellraiser characters for next round.
And next up, so we only have 3 more rounds to go. But this next one, Candyman versus Ghost the Berserker. I would have liked to have seen Ghost, go up against somebody a little easier. Because I think Ghost is cool. He's definitely my favorite Berserker, but Candyman, of course, Candyman won. I mean,
You already said Candyman 3 times.
No, I'm not getting it. Okay, well, that's it then.
I think they should have given Candyman one more vote on this one, but
right.
Yeah. But of course, it's the year of Candyman, right? Yeah. I mean, it's last year was the year of Candyman, but right. So it's still very fresh in the popular culture, and I hope that Candyman continues and there's more movies in the future for years to come.
We've got Dr. Chenard versus the Rake. The Rake being the flayed ghost-like creature from Weaveworld that was created by surgeons from beyond.
Yeah. Wasn't this supposed to be a former lover of Immaculata?
Exactly, yeah.
I would have voted for the Rake. I mean, I think the Rake is scarier than Dr. Chenard. Dr. Chenard, I'm sorry, but that tentacle on his head, it just kind of makes him seem not as powerful and more of a puppet. But the Rake was super scary in Weaveworld. When I read that chapter, it was really intimidating.
He had like a tornado around him or something.
Yeah. And like his little flippy flappy doodles just kind of flap around, and he's got these like really sharp claws and stuff. But Dr. Chenard made it because he's a great villain and he's in a movie.
Yep. And next one, we have a tie again. So we got Candy Quackenbush versus Raoul.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Raoul from the Great and Secret Show in Everville.
We got to break this tie.
I know.
I'm voting for Raoul.
I'm voting for Candy. I think we have to roll off again. Okay, so say high or low for Raoul?
High.
Okay, an 11 again. What's the deal with you, Die? Okay, Raoul wins.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Awesome, the monkey wins.
Yeah, awesome. That comic portrayal of him doesn't look like an ape at all. It looks totally like a human.
Oh, it looks like a kind of a anthropomorphized chimpanzee, I think.
Yeah, kind of.
It's pretty chimpy.
Yeah.
With the big ears and then the hair that goes into the cheekbones and stuff. Yeah. I like that Great and Secret Show comic adaptation a lot.
I wish so much that they would keep going right all the way through Everville.
Yeah, me too. But that shouldn't have been like it was supposed to be like 6 volumes, right? Not 12.
Right.
And then they just decided to make it more because they wanted to give the story more justice.
Yeah, David had said that, and he told us that because he talked to the creators that Clive funded the remaining 6 episodes himself so that it could be done right.
Wow. Okay, so another reason to love Clive is that he made this awesome story even better. Yeah,
anyone out there that, if you're a big fan of the Great and Secret Show, oh my God, find the omnibus or you can get the original individual comics, but get the Great and Secret Show comic adaptation.
Yeah, it's really good. It's from, what's the publishing house for that one?
Is it IDW?
IDW Publishing. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
So one more quick thing from the Kickstarter. I just want to kind of shout this out because there are people that I haven't heard back from. So Paul Schaaf, if you're listening, I sent you a message through Kickstarter, but Paul Schaaf is in Australia, right? And he got an autographed picture of Clive Barker. The shipping turned out to be $71.50. So Paul Schaaf, I just gave you some options here. You can add to the amount that you donated, or You can get a refund if you want to, or you could get something else that doesn't require shipping. So I put that out there in your messages. Please respond, because I've got another one that I'm going to be shipping to Australia, and I was kind of hoping to make one trip to the post office. So Paul Schaaf, let us know. Byte is the other one. Byte, I don't know your real name because I need your address and I need your t-shirt size. So please, Byte, if you're out there, please reply to that message in the Kickstarter so that I can get that from you, and then I can get your stuff sent out to you.
I think Byte solved the box and he was taken to hell.
That's a distinct possibility.
Yep. Come on, Byte, give us a holler.
Or he's busy, taking other people to hell.
Then I want to know, Byte, do you work at Cinnabon? People want to know.
Yeah, that's the burning question.
Yep, I know. That joke.
Yeah, so coming up next, we've got Jericho Squad 77, which as we're recording this it's a Thursday, we're going to be recording that one on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be coming back after a couple of months hiatus. There was some scary, crazy stuff going on.
And some stuff that was supposed to be scary, but ended up being pretty easy.
Yeah. And we got a commentary for JoJo Baby and another commentary for T for Torso for David Cronenberg's The Brood coming up soon.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Sure. And, maybe the second round of the Duels of Blood will have more interesting characters and people will be more engaged with it. And we'll definitely tweet about it and post it around a little more. Yeah.
I think normally we share this stuff on every single Clive Barker group, and we kind of stopped doing that. And now we didn't get very many votes on this first round. So, if you're out there listening, go check out duelsofblood.com and vote on the second round. Because it's one vote makes a huge difference, obviously. If we'd had one vote on some of these, we wouldn't have had to roll dice.
Yeah, and if you're a habitual listener, make sure you join the Clive Barker listener group.
Yeah, thank you.
Because,
I forgot to mention that. I've been wanting to talk about that on there.
Yeah, actually, there's been a lot of people joining there, and it's great because you really get to interact a little more with the people who who listen to us, and we love to ask you questions and make polls.
Yeah, and see what you guys want to hear. Because a lot of times we make these polls and the people who reply aren't actually people who listen. So that's what I love about that group. And this podcast, having no beginning, will have no end. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed. You can find the Clive Barker podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that is not affiliated with or under contract by Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. Watch for our annual Kickstarter fundraisers to get some cool stuff, and you can buy t-shirts on our TeePublic store. Go to teepublic.com and search for BarkerCast.
Thanks for listening.